Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Loop Hero. Just coming straight to the point at the moment, I've not played this for about 4 or 5 days. I've been a bit unwell recently and my partner's had a few more night shifts, so I didn't want to play it while she was asleep. But I'm eager to get back into this. I did have a quick check on the last run. We just played as the Necromancer, so we're on to a warrior run. And based on the fact that I know we still have Necromancer runs to come, we mustn't have beat the Act 4 boss. We have discovered that Ancestral Crypt is quite good for the Necromancer because he doesn't really gain too much HP. So just killing enemies is quite good for it. I think for the Warrior though, and we did try an Ancestral Crypt run with the Warrior, I think I prefer the Arsenal. Similarly, I don't think I want to run the Smith's Forge because it's quite dangerous. I don't know if I've been running Road Lantern just for the damage that you get off the candlesticks, and you can block spawns near the boss. Maybe I'll keep doing that actually. Bloodgrove I don't think we can run because it's too dangerous. I'm happy to have Wheatfield still in the deck. We're going to use Outpost again. I don't really like it on this character, but we have so much problem with the Act 2 boss as the Warrior that I feel like we need it. In terms of other things that I want to put into the deck right now, I think that I might try Rock Mountain again. It's kind of hard to say. What do I want more? Heal per day or just higher HP? I mean, we could put all of them in, I guess, but I think that is a bit too much. Because really, this is like our power gain from forest or thicket versus river. That's where we get much of our strength from. It's a difficult one, honestly. So this is 1% HP. And the mountain is, what, 2% I guess? Not sure how you hover over the back card. I've never noticed it before really. Anyway. We still don't have enough mirrors to try this Storm Temple thing that I did want to try. Okay, we need rocks, so I'm going to say, you know what, let's just try them all. This is going to be quite a spicy take, but let's try having this many environmental cards in it. We won't go to super attack build, we will try and get some survivability. I think spiders I'm happy to have back into the deck as well. They're just a good card generation tool for us, I think. And everything else I'm quite happy with. So the reason I'm also on meadows in is because the beacon speeds up time, which is good for us. So this is a 15 card deck. Let's try it. Things haven't been working so far, so we do need to tweak things a little bit. We are going to play as the Warrior. Let's go. Arsenal, immediately I want to place this in a spot that won't be too bad, but we could use it to also block boss Lich Palace spawns. So honestly, I think I want to place one here. I don't want to place it exactly on the camp because I want to put 2 outposts there and then leave it be. I don't really want to fill my board with outposts. Other than that, at the moment, we've built a lot more like little huts. This is kind of why I want the mountains as well, because they're a really good source of stone. And I think if we just get enough supplies, eventually we'll just brute force it effectively. Right, immediately where do I want to put the mountains? One thing I was considering actually was doing a 3x3 mountain and running the river alongside of it. So rather than getting these ×8 buffs, shall I just settle for the ×4? Or even just ×2? And maybe run the river down and then wind it later on. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. The other thing I need to be a little bit careful of is the meadows, because I'm going to need to make them blooming meadows. Do I think this strategy is necessarily good? I don't know. That's my honest answer. I feel like being super aggressive in games is normally very strong, especially like these. But honestly, we feel a bit too weak going into a lot of the bosses. Here's an outpost as well, which is nice. I want 2 early outposts, and then I'm never going to place any down. We are accepting effectively we don't get the boss loot. But just to honestly increase our consistency of beating bosses, I think it might be worth it. Here's our first river that I'm going to start running down here. And I think I will double... Will I double forests? You know what I will do? Just because we're going to have so little attack speed compared to previous runs. Other like potential win conditions that I've considered, perhaps something like a high evasion build would be nice, but I don't know, honestly. But at the moment it feels like we're doing what is basically the definition of insanity for the last few runs. We've basically run the same builds and we've died in the same ways. So let's just mix it up a little bit. And this is definitely mixing it up a little bit. So yeah, this is plus 7 HP for each adjacent rock on Mountain. So it's going to be plus 14 because it's doubled by the river. I think this is a good mix between our high attack builds and a bit more survivability. As I said before, I don't 100% respect HP as a resource, but I'm saying that maybe I should respect it as a resource because we keep dying. What's this? No improvement. Just in terms of general things, I'd like to try and knock this out in this session, Loop Hero. That's my intention right now. We've come close as the warrior once. We got into like the final loop and died before we fought the final act boss. Let's try and get to him. I think if we can get to him, we can beat him typically. We just got done by one of those wooden soldiers. This was a few episodes back, if people don't remember. But my place for the Loop Hero series right now is I would like to replace it with The Binding of Isaac, Repentance, when it comes out, which I think is now in a week's time. And I'm really looking forward to it. I've not played much Isaac at all recently. So I imagine there's going to be another steep learning curve, but I loved that game when it came out, mainly as Afterbirth. I thought it was a really good experience. It's a very good roguelike. Probably one of the kings of the roguelikes, to be honest with you. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing it again. So I want to get this knocked out before next week. In other things, I would like to check out the Monster Train DLC as well. Maybe start off a fresh save, because I did those playthroughs before I made this channel. And I think that would be quite neat too. But that comes out tomorrow from when this is recorded. Oh, attack speed up, yes please. So just a lot of things coming out right now, which is good. I want to play them all. Although this is going to be quite like dated because I've recorded quite a large batch of Loop Hero. I've just started putting up my first One Step from Eden runs. There is a chance that I slow those down depending on how Isaac goes. But I do plan to come back to that and do more of a completion. But who knows, at the moment I might run it as like a third video. It just depends if I have the time to really do it. More retaliation damage and counter. Honestly, I prefer the attack speed in Vampirism if I can get it. As usual, early loop not too much of a problem. We're picking up a lot of preserved rocks, which is nice because we need it for our like few final building upgrades. And they're also used to build mud huts. Damage to wall. Damage to wall is quite nice to have a little bit of, but it's not as good as I thought it was. Oh, I should also check this. Yeah, that's much better. Listen, in the comments, let me know if there's anything else you would like to see me play. They're what I've got immediately in mind. Part of me also wouldn't mind trying to play some Dark Souls stuff. It's something I've never really played before, but I think it looks like it'd be quite a fun time. Admittedly, the audience for it might have gone now, because the game's pretty old. But you know, let's just have a good time. I always mention that I'd like to try and do a few more banterish games as well. And so far, basically every game I've picked to do have not really fit that characteristic. I wasn't fully aware of One Step of Eden going into it, but it is the most mind-blowing game in a sense that I just can't think of everything I need to do. It's like, oh, do I push QWE? Like, do I have to reflect right now? Or what's this enemy attack pattern? And there'll be like 3 enemies on the screen. It just becomes insane. I've already come close to a victory in that, but we just failed, I think. So I'm hoping to go one step better when we next do some recordings, but very difficult game. So yeah, so as I said, so far I haven't really had too much banter opportunities. We had a few super chill episodes of this, which were a bit more talkative. Let's see what upgrade you want. Killing an enemy... Sorry. After killing an enemy, your next attack will deal 2 times loop extra damage. That seems nice for killing ads, but I'm not too worried about it right now. 35% chance to perform counter-strike during an evade seems pretty strong, and 10% chance of hit to stun a target for seconds. I think I'm going to take this. It's good against like Act 1, 3, and then onwards boss. It's not really great for Act 2 boss, but I am going to pick up a lot of attack speed, and attack speed does synergize with this effectively. Let's keep winding our rivers down. I think I'm going to wind this down now and then have no more mountains near the rivers. I'm just trying to get a big HP. I don't know how this actually works with the mountain peak. I've never tried this before. I'm hoping I get a double effect. Let's keep blooming my meadows. And let's start bringing the rivers down. Again, this was not particularly smart play for me. I should have had a thicket there. But, hey ho. If I get a spare Oblivion, maybe I'll Oblivion it out. But right now, I feel like I need to strengthen quickly. To that goal, I would like a village, by the way, game. We're quite close to spawning the first boss as well. I should be a bit more cautious of that. Some more suburbs. Excellent. Again, I just said I should be cautious of it, and immediately forgot about it. We have passed the start line again, which is fine. I'll always call it go on the start line. I'm not even a big Monopoly player, so I don't know why I keep calling it go. Okay, what's this level 3 ring? Magic damage rather than damage to wall. Honestly, I respect damage to wall a bit more right now. And I don't respect retaliation damage too much. I really don't want to be here. I suppose we could have gone for an opposite build, actually, for like retaliation build. Just try and get as much HP as possible. And then just let enemies hit themselves on us to die. Could be quite neat, but right now I think I'm looking for evasion. Let me keep placing forests around here. So, I'm open to spawning the boss right now. I do feel a little bit weak, but I think it's better to spawn as fast as you can, basically. Because it's only going to get worse from here. I've only got one outpost, by the way, so a handful of Oblivions would also be quite nice fairly soon. And let's continue our rivers. As I said, I'm quite interested to see what would happen as well if you try to spawn both bosses. I've mentioned this in a few videos before, but I did think of a way of doing it now. You could do it with the maze that I've never placed other than the one time I played it on the first time I unlocked it and just didn't really appreciate it. I kind of get why it's useful if you want to make your run a bit faster, but honestly right now, I don't want to make my run faster. I just want to make it more survivable. Let's trade damage, or some of our damage to all off. Honestly, we're looking okay right now. Could be better, and this is just better. It kind of hurts not having 2 outposts there, but we'll live with it. Right, a beacon will help versus the boss. So let me beacon up. We'll have full HP and full potions probably going into this fight. Which is nice. One more meadow. Can I place the meadow anywhere useful? Honestly, I can't right now. But I think I should still place it. Yeah, I'll start using forests maybe to make them blooming. Rather than doubling forests. But that is if I survive. The other thing I've considered doing is not alternating between the two. There's the outpost a little bit too late, but at least we're going to get the mountain peak just in time. So I'm hoping right now this is doubling on each tile, and I'm not sure it is. I think it's just doubled once. Although we have just had a big jump. So it's plus 163 HP. But did we not gain the HP? Okay, that might not actually work as a synergy. I didn't know if it was going to hit it on every tile. I guess that would be okay, because that'd be probably like times 8. More than times 8, what am I talking about? like 3, 5. And that would have been on a double. So it would be like times 2 to the 6 or something. Yeah, yours just set lines. So I'm hoping we survive this right now. As I said, 11 potions, we can drink as many as we need to. And our ally here will take some hits, hopefully. Right now, of course, we're just getting solo targeted by the boss. We do have a revive, but I'd like to save it beyond this fight. One of the other reasons why I've tried to go for high HP as well is because of our potions. Sometimes we're dying before we're actually using potions, especially on the Necromancer. And that went pretty well. Shame to lose the loot though, because he didn't actually ever attack this guy, but we've really got him in just for, what's his name? The next boss. I'd honestly be happy to Oblivion him after that. In terms of our new mountains, this is going to spawn a goblin camp. I think I'm okay to spawn a goblin camp. And I think I just start doing this up in the top corner. We don't really have any good tiles in our deck to spawn difficult enemies, which we need to, like, improve on. That's kind of why the outpost hurts so much. Because it is our best chance to get great loot, in my opinion, but we've traded it for trying to kill the mirrors faster so we can kill that boss a little bit quicker. It might be a wrong play, honestly. But we'll see. If this goes terrible, then we'll maybe consider removing them out. But yeah, goblins maybe offer our best chance of getting good loot. It's also why I've left the battlefield in, is to try and make the, I think they're called like blood clots. But right now our loot is pretty average, I'm not going to lie. We are about to ding. What levels am I looking for? Honestly, give me a handful of Oblivions. I'll trade the cards in my hand right now for the Oblivions. Ooh. Thickets and forest. I did say I was going to leave these up here to start blooming them. What's our attack speed at now? Plus 47, that's okay. Well, our HP looks very nice. And we didn't drink that many potions that fight. Here's our first level. Honestly, I think I might take Card Sharp. No, I shouldn't. I should take the barrier. This has saved us so many times and it lets us heal behind it. But I used to not respect Card Sharp. I do respect it now. There is definitely good case uses for it. Right, more rivers. Okay. Also, I placed this river completely wrong, by the way. My bad. I will wind it down now, I think. Or do I just go straight down? Do I accept my mistake and then just loop back up again? Honestly, that might be better. I have thought about that before, whether or not it is worth actually looping it back on itself into like a sharp S shape. Or just going all the way down and all the way back up on the other side. Because in theory, this way you can place some more forest down faster, but I think it's more efficient to wind it like this. So, honestly, I don't know. If I am going to wind back across, I should do this now. Yeah, okay. Right, definitely a handful of Oblivions would be nice right now. I hate the villages and it's really bad on this class. Road Lantern has kind of become a bit pointless. That being said, I think I'm still going to place one here to not fight every single goblin on the planet. And we hold the other cards. As I said, this multi-environment build is kind of nice. It's a bit like what I've said before with builds. Do we want to like hard like go into a start like now I could get plus 20% attack speed? Do I value that over 5% evasion and 1 defense? Maybe. Honestly, maybe. Or do you want to go wide and have lots of stats in multiple things? And just be able to deal with things a little bit better? Typically how we've done it is we've tried to like lean into one stat. And then we built a deck around that stat. But honestly, again, it's really good balance from the team on this. The attack speed buff is countered by like just pure counter. This counters it very hard. So really the only thing we can do is to Oblivion it. Which relies on luck. So right now our attack speed is plus 91%, but a lot of it is coming from our equipment, which is normally not how we do this. But currently I'm valuing killing enemies as fast as is humanly possible. Would really like a village right now. This could be a horrible tile for us as well. Especially when we didn't attack the goblin leader first. He just gets stronger and stronger. But, as I said, he's given us some decent loot. And I think it's the time to trade 7% attack speed for at least 6 magic damage. As I said, I don't really respect the retaliation damage, but just raw damage in itself I do respect. Give me more blooming meadows and let's carry on. Not that close to leveling. Honestly, I would like to level before we fight the Act 2 boss, but I don't think we're going to get that luxury. Let me double a thicket again. I would like to keep fighting enemies. Some more spiders, please. It feels a little bit cursed at the moment to have this many wheat fields. Honestly, it would be good to get a bookery as well. That would be a good get for us. Right, this trades off a big chunk of our attack speed. Does give us damage to all, though. So, welcome. 78% attack speed is still pretty good. More forest. Keep making blooming meadows. Stack the rocks up here. And we hold the rest. Yeah, I said, oh, an Oblivion's nice. It's what do we Oblivion know? Honestly, this, I think, is a misplay. But I'm going to make it anyway. Because I think we're going to have to fight the Act 2 boss before I get another Oblivion. But this is definitely the most dangerous tile right now. It counters the attack speed builds greatly. And really, I should be saving him for that. Oh, should place this forest. I am actually a bit concerned for this fight, especially now that 2 have spawned. Fortunately, we have a lot of potions, but they counter on every single hit, and they're hitting pretty hard. Yeah, he's going to make us drink some potions. Okay, 1 potion is fine. All the shield gone. Well, that's what it's there for. The harpies are also pretty painful, which I think is, again, the counter for having these mountains, but hey-ho. Okay, I guess our max HP went so high that it just hit the potion limit again, and we drank the potion out of battle. Kind of annoying, but not the end of the world. Again, this is going to be a potentially dangerous tile for us, but I feel like we're starting to outpace the game a little bit. Much higher max HP, but trades off attack speed and damage as well. Honestly, I don't think I need the HP right now. Harpy, can you please always spawn on that tile? Right, a handful of Oblivion. We've just been asking for this. Give it to me. Pause the game. I have some Oblivion need to do. So that immediately goes. What else goes? Lich Palaces. This lets us build more things so we can get stronger. Honestly, some of the Lich Palaces look like beacons to me when I'm not like being careful, so let's not Oblivion one of our useful tiles. Is that a Lich Palace? Yeah, it is. And then 2 here, and then honestly, I hold the other 3 for any more villages that spawn. That's quite a nice play for us. Very high defense. Honestly, the attack speed's good enough right now. Let's get a bit more survivability. Well, look how much our bar went back for just doing that. It's actually insane. I think it's super good to get that handful of Oblivion, but basically only in Act 4. I've never found a great use for it in any of the other acts. But you might signal it as well as good design from the developers. An act specific card that's good. It's our first village, by the way. As soon as we've got rid of all our wheat fields, we arrives. We can't ransack this because we have no vampire mansions in our deck. So where do I want this? I want this honestly near our spawn somewhere. So I think I'm going to put it here. And then we have another suburb. So far things look pretty nice. We might be able to get back to full potions. I say we should get back to full potions before the next boss. So I don't think we're going to summon it on this loop. That being said, there are a lot of enemies now on this loop, so it will take me longer than I think I'm thinking. I have also considered trying to run the river by these suburbs, but I think it's so hard to actually make that happen. You can't really hit the towns because they have to go as the like the cross. and the river has to go adjacent to it, and a suburb can only be placed next to a suburb, so you run the risk of putting a river by it and then like closing it off, so you can't place suburbs anymore. And honestly, doubling the suburbs isn't a huge gain for you, so I think it is the wrong play. Which is why we're not doing it. And I'm probably not going to test it. Ooh, nice loot from the chest. This is a lot of our attack speeds going, 17% of it. But I do like evasion and vampirism. So much so that, especially since I've just got this shield now, I will trade it away. So vampirism's out up at 18%. Our attack speed's down to 53%, which isn't great. And we have 11% evasion. If they can't hit you, they can't hurt you. You don't need healing then. But as I said, we're sort of like compensating for everything right now. I take stuff with less HP with more evasion because I'm putting mountains in to compensate for it. And actually, this level of HP is really good for right now. From what I can remember, at least. Ooh, really good loot off that archer. Or at least high skill level. Damage swall on it. And regen. And defense. Yeah, we take that. We're going to lose some more attack speed here, boys and girls. But give it to me for the damage. Like, we're almost one-shotting the spiders now, which is a good place to be in. Cemetery I have to be a little bit careful about placing, but we're pretty barren over here, so I'll just place it on its own. And we keep going. I think we're going to loop one more time at least before we fight the boss. But I want to fight the boss as soon as I can, as I said. I don't want it to get much harder, and it will get harder with our loop level. Taking a sip of orange juice again. Or orange cordial. I have to now put orange cordial in basically all my drinks, otherwise my kitten tries to drink it. Adorable, yes, but annoying also. And you might be saying like, oh, get one of those cat water fountains. Yeah, we thought of that. She has a cat water fountain. Does she use it? Not really. Her favourite drinking spots at the moment are, number one, my glass. That is one of her favourites. After that is probably the bathtub. Don't know why she likes drinking bath water. And number three is the toilet we found out recently. So, but I guess kittens do as kittens do. That being said, we are now closing the lid on the toilet every time to make sure she doesn't get in it. We had a bit of a spooky moment actually with her yesterday as well, that she was neutered like a few weeks ago. I mentioned it in a video. And she's healed generally well from it. Like, she's not really shown too many signs of like distress from it. That's fine. But I noticed yesterday like a hair-like thing coming from her wound, which was one of the stitches, and they are like meant to dissolve, I know, over time. But this was like 3 or 4 centimeters long, I would say, the stitch that was like hanging out. And we were just trying to decide whether or not we should like trim it off so she doesn't catch on anything, or like take it to the vet, or what, leave it. In the end, I decided just to trim it down, not back to the skin again, but just take the end off it. Which was kind of a compromise between all situations, I suppose. But she seems happy enough with it. I think it was bothering her though, because I touched around the area and like she jumped a little bit, so I guess it was tugging on her. Maybe she'd pulled like it out herself. But I'd never really seen her go around the wound. Either way, she's fine today. She's bouncing around. She's also learned to open doors, which is fun at 6 o'clock in the morning when a cat comes in and is purring on your head. Again, some people might call that adorable. I call it tiring. Right. Honestly, will I take a damage down for 8% evasion? I think no. We're getting better quality loot than I thought. I had wondered with... So as I said, I kind of rate this... is it called the Arsenal? Which gives you 1 more slot. But you get worse loot. Because I think it is just an upgrade to get it. But I was worried that we were going to get really poor loot based on the enemies we put in. But so far, I've been quite impressed. And I will take defense on that and more damage. As I said, we just want to kill things as fast as possible. That's what this run is built to do. We want to melt things. Something else interesting to say about the suburbs is, I think it's the only environmental tile, maybe other than River, that I've not been able to get it to spawn enemies. I don't know if you have to run the town right to the roadside. Might be something that we might try to do. But if you put river next to the road, it becomes like a thicket, which does spawn enemies. But I've not seen any spawn off this so far. Like, harpies from mountains, yeah. Forests give you the towns. Then you've got, like, I don't know if deserts give you something as well, actually, now I think about it. I was going to say gargoyles, but they come from the, I'm so bad at remembering things. Like the treasuries. No. But I said nothing from these so far, which is okay, I guess. I'm not sure how transformative this is to our runs. I've kind of like been sticking it in for a while. Yeah, you can't even put this roadside, so that can't be the thing. I've been putting it in to try and get like an extra level out of it and suggesting that the extra level is worth that amount of tiles. But honestly, if you get a bad skill, it's probably not worth it. But I'm not going to just run a deck, which I had considered of just rivers and forests. Just really lay onto that attack speed. That is potentially nice. 1.5 damage for every potion used. We have 11 potions right now. We've drank quite a lot. And we're only going to drink more. So I think I'm going to take that. We have another village. This will spawn a bandit camp. I could place it here, which would be quite funny because it blocked the goblin spawn. Honestly, I'm not too worried about the goblins. I am worried about the bandits though. That I'm not going to lie about. I think I'm going to place it here. I don't really want to Oblivion a bandit camp, but I will. And I will keep placing thickets down here. Because I'm going to wind the river back. Cemetery, come up here. I think one thing we could do is lay off the enemies a bit more. On that run where we unlocked the 4th boss and died on the final loop before it, hurt a lot. And honestly, we were still like making our run harder. Goodbye. So it was probably misplay from me, just assuming that we could deal with every enemy. But honestly, some of the basic enemies are more annoying than some of the bosses. Or as annoying at least. More HP? Honestly, I don't think we take that right now. Just checking if I want to take this though. I think I do. I think I'll trade Vampirism off right now for evasion. Just get hit less. It's more survivability. This is more HP, but I don't think it's more survivability necessary. Really. And honestly, we need the attack speed to break the mirrors, so I think we leave the rest. This is the worst battle. This is why we have the outpost. So they're now just being used basically as fodder. They take some damage off us, and they help us break some early mirrors. So we've like done 50% of the HP to the boss. And honestly, a big part of this was because of the outpost guys. Do we still win this fight? Honestly, I don't know. I think we do. Our attack speed is kind of low. I mean, it's plus 67%, but compared to some of our like forest runs, it's pretty low. I think we will win this without dying, which is big for us. Because the Act 3 boss, although I think we're stronger against it, can just hurt you if he just targets you, because he'll be critting for like 300 damage. But here's my question now, and I did mention this before, do I just Oblivion the outposts? And I think the answer now is yes. I don't think we use outposts anymore. I've traded all my Oblivions away. The next boss is a pain, but we have a revive in store now. And we're going to have very high HP, probably. So far, this run is going exceptionally well. It's basically going as we had it planned. We went for increased survivability. It first got a lot of HP. And now we're going back to our strategy of getting higher attack speed. I mean, we're two-shotting spiders. Like, what's the not to like about that? And we have the blooming meadows now, as well now to give us some more HP, so we're not just relying purely on potions, which we almost were before. Do I trade away this evasion now for defense and damage to wall? Honestly, I think I do. Damage to wall now is not a bad stat for us to start like leaning into. He's good against the Act 3 boss. Not good against the final boss though. We probably want to trade a lot of it away. Ooh. That's just a better shield. You always love it when the numbers are just higher. And I don't think I take that right now. For the first one of the day, honestly, and having not played this for a while, I'm very pleased with the performance so far. I think we're just playing this very smart. We've changed strategies as we need to do for the bosses. Honestly, again, this loses attack speed, but it's more... Oh, it takes more damage. We do lose damage to all. Trade it for me. And don't talk to me about it again. And then, do I trade the Vampirism off this? I think I do. I don't think I mind this. So we've got, like, decent Vampirism now, good attack speed. What was the other thing we had? Yeah, this brought back a lot of our attack speed. And it has magic damage on it. So our damage right now is 45 to 68, which is pretty good for right now. You can't complain. I guess you can, but I'm not going to. Sure. Skeletons. You can go here, but we have to be a bit careful now because, as I said, this next tile we're going to have an artillery unit. Admittedly, this was basically just luck that he's spawned there, but I would still like to not have to deal with it. Am I at the point where I'd start doubling forest again? Yeah, probably. Fortunately, we'll get through this so quickly that doesn't really matter. Right, another village. This won't spawn a bandit camp, so that is a-okay by me. Where do I want it? Good question. I filled up a lot of the board back here. I'm not going to lie. I kind of misplaced this. I kind of wish I put the village here and a village there. But I'm not going to double down in it. I'm just going to place this here. I'm happy to place a wheat field there. I don't want to just block the goblin spawns right now. I feel they'll be useful for us. And let's double a thicket. Good tempo so far. We're quite far off spawning the Act 3 boss. But again, I would like to do it sooner rather than later. This is a lot of vampirism. This would take me up to 23% vampirism. Let's try it. Some more suburbs. Where are we to leveling? Pretty far away. Might get another level before we fight the next boss, honestly, but I wouldn't hold my breath on it. Dude, keep doubling those thickets. It'd be nice to get Loop Hero off my docket right now. I've enjoyed this game a lot, and I've said I will come back to it because I presume there's going to be DLC. But I think to freshen up something from the channel, I think that there was like a big stir about this game, that it's so different. Everyone was playing it. Like, you'd go onto Twitch and you just see everyone playing it on YouTube front page. So many people playing Loop Hero. It's starting to die down a little bit now, like the craze about it, but I have really enjoyed this game. And I'd like to see more of what they might do with it in the future. Especially the narrative behind it. How the story fit into the gameplay. It was so nicely done. Do I trade some of my vampirism away? Yeah, sure. I'll downgrade by skill level my ring to give me a bit more evasion. And by a bit more, I mean actually some evasion. Then, do I want to trade away some more vampirism for a lot of HP? Counter we've not really respected on this run. I will take it. In theory, counter should be a good stat. I should really lean on it a bit more, but I haven't. And I haven't for most of this playthrough, other than maybe episode 3 or something where we beat the Act boss with a very high counter. Because in theory, it's double damage if you get counter at 100%. But we typically always get a meager amount of counter. And it never quite works. It'd be rare for me to take a damage down, but this is attack speed up. Again, you could work this out if it's actually worth that. I think because we have we have some vampirism at least, and we have damage to all, the attack speed is better than just the 2 extra damage. Because attacking faster to all enemies, and most of the tiles have multiple enemies on, except the boss. Although our next boss will do. I think it's a good thing. Scarecrows, again, something I haven't really mentioned too much. Give pretty good loot. Can't really complain about that. Do I want to trade away some of my regen? Honestly, that's not a big enough change for me to really care. The ring, this has evasion up, but only by 2%. I lose vampirism. Not interested. I have damage to all already. But we're really starting to melt down enemies. And harpies keep flying over there, by the way, where our watchtowers are. Much appreciated. It's a much friendlier fight when you have 4 crossbowmen shooting from the back line. Right, more mountains. Continue our mountains over here. Forest, honestly, I don't know really what I'm doing with you anymore. I don't think I need W. I'd like some more rivers actually gain. If I had one complaint, it's one, you haven't given me a bookery yet. But 2, it is... You gave me wheat fields without villages, and now you're not giving me rivers. And really, the rivers would be big. I think this has been one of our stronger warrior runs, especially in Act 4. I mean, a lot of recent warrior runs have ended on the Act 2 boss. We could die on Act 3, but quietly I'm a bit more confident right now. So these tiles are pretty dangerous right now because if the chest is a mimic, we have damage to all, so we're going to proc the mimic, and they hit pretty hard. Oh, this is so much magic damage. That's kind of insane. It's very high defense too, instead of regen. I think I'll trade that. But nothing else, I think. How much did I damage the wall now? 3. I think I'll take it still. We have time to get better loot still. Fortunately, we haven't seen a mimic yet on this run. Admittedly, that chest I don't think gave us any loot. Oh, and here's a ghost which we haven't seen for a long time. Fortunately, he stunned us, and it's a pretty terrible stun right now in Act 4. And we were fighting a chest, so that was fine. I can be stunned while fighting chests. That is horrible. Please give me some Oblivions as well, game. Right, what's this? This would trade away our last bit of damage to all. This has damage to all and evasion. I'll take some evasion and damage to all. What's our evasion at? 15%? That's pretty good. And I think I'll hold this. I can see why evasion seems to be a hard stat to like get up, because I don't know if that 100% evasion literally means you can't be hit, or if there's like a hidden accuracy stat. I presume there is. You keep giving me such high attack speeds. I can't say no to it. This basically removes our vampirism though. And by basically, I think it removes our vampirism. Again, it's fine. You can have the vampirism. Let me just machine gun enemies down. Well, it can't be as good as the rogue at machine gunning enemies down. We don't have crits, but... we also drank a lot of potions then, which is a bit spooky. Not gonna lie. Do I want to fight any more spiders? Probably. Probably should keep fighting spiders right now. Put it on the inside of a loop like that. Again, we drank a potion outside of battle, which seems a bit strange. Our hero knows what he wants, and he wants high attack speed and evasion on the weapon. That seems pretty strong. More meadows. Keep making those blooming meadows. Still pretty far away from spawning the Act 3 boss, actually. Oh, we have leveled. Right. Every counterattack restores HP. We're not really on counter right now, so probably not. Your next attack will deal 2 times the loop extra damage. That seems pretty strong, and that's kind of pointless for the boss battle, so... Every time we kill an enemy, we're going to do 2 times the loop XP extra damage. Don't know why I said XP in that. Just 2 times the loop extra damage. Finally, the game has rewarded us with a river, which I'll immediately place, and a forest. Which, honestly, I don't have many uses for you anymore, forest. The river's probably going to have to come back through here. Honestly, maybe I'd place the forest in the middle of the map. A bookery would be nice, by the way, because I might start trading forest away and be a bit more selective with what I pick up. That has typically in the past led to problems, but... So we are coming up to a very tricky looking tile. Oh, an Oblivion. That is quite nice. I feel like we're about to spawn in the village, but I don't think I want to deal with... Do I actually care? This is goblins and skeletons in the same tile. They're both pretty high damage. Yeah, honestly, I don't want to do that. I think just goblins on their own are fine, but not on another tile. This is very high evasion, but it does remove my damaged wall, and it removes all of it. And honestly, we're getting lots of attack speed on our weapon right now, which is kind of weird. Not how we've been doing runs so far. Our attack speed is all plus 124%, but we have to go one at a time through enemies. Which really isn't how I planned this run to go. Part of me doesn't want to pick up counter anymore because we just removed it. Sure, give me more attack speed and vampirism, but you lose more evasion. The other vampirism is pretty nice as well. That was a misplay, but it's fine. I'll run the river all the way around, I suppose. And let's make some more blooming meadows. They are blooming good. Where am I actually putting this? There's one thing over here, but I don't really know what I'm going to do with the next one. I have to sort of put a tile adjacent here to make any use of it. Sure, I'll just go in the corner. Don't be blooming. Nice heals off the village. Completed some quests which gave us some pretty naff gear, not gonna lie. Ooh. It trades a lot of our attack speed away. So no. That is the machine gun I like to see. Just smack, 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 and we have a road lantern, which will help us against the bosses with damage up. Things are starting to look up. This is more attack speed. It does trade defense off for it, which feels a bit strange. I don't think I take that. It won't be too transformative for us. Another shield, which is nice for us as well. More survivability. We can heal the HP we'd lost, which was basically nothing, up in the background. Again, I will spawn the boss now if I have to. I don't feel as comfortable as I did before, because we've sort of just been like idling around, looping for no real strengths. But equally, I don't feel too weak. Right, meadows. Honestly, I don't care about meadows anymore. Honestly, give me a buckery. Did I not put buckery in this deck or something? I'm pretty certain I've got buckery in it, right? Because I would like to start trading some of these cards, because I don't really want to place too many rocks down either, but I feel under a bit of pressure too. Admittedly, our HP right now is 1,700, which is pretty good for this part of the game. So maybe I shouldn't worry too much. I'm going to place a weak field there to remove a goblin when I fight it. And continue to place suburbs in the corner. I think the next level is probably the last one we'll get during this loop. And by loop, I just mean expedition. So we could consider to start not placing his suburbs down. As soon as we get the counter thing, counter starts showing up. This trades away a counter, actually, so I'm not too fussed about that. I don't really want to trade that much attack speed away. So I'm going to keep the ring I have right now. We have got through the chest. This has vampirism. Okay. Now this I will trade. High vampirism, high attack speed. That feels like a very good thing. And super high damage to all. That might be really nice for us, because we're starting to spawn lots of enemies. This is one of the few times I would downgrade by like 2 skill levels. I do want some before I fight the boss, and we're close to fighting the boss. It helps us deal with all 3 of them, like, one after another. Rather than, like, superpowering one of the dogs, or superpowering the hunter before we fight him. We'll probably will spawn the boss on this loop now. Is this more vampirism? It's less vampirism. It has damage to all though, so I will actually take that. Come on, Buckery. You're in there somewhere, I think. No. But, I mean, we're healing like 20 on vampirism right now. It's pretty insane. Part of me is considering doing another loop just to pick up the potions, but I think we're more likely to use the potions. So I'm not worried about it. If we haven't got the boss, I will just place these meadows down pretty liberally to make it happen. I think this is what I just traded off. I'm going to say no, I want the attack speed. Okay, there we go. The meadows honestly don't make a huge difference to us right now. Although we are about to hit day, but we're going to hit like 3 villages, so we'll have enough HP for the last boss. Or we'll have probably maximum HP at least. Counter's not what I'm looking for, game. That is actually tangible benefit. That is, I think 5% damage is quite high. This health shouldn't be too bad for us now. We have damage to all and vampirism. Despite the fact we attacked them in the worst possible order as usual. No, I want the HP. Okay, quest. We're just a touch off full HP. I'm going to hold these still because I'd like to trade them if I can, but we haven't seen a Bookery yet. Okay, here's the Hunter. We get that full shield, which I said is kind of weird because most other loop effects don't proc in the boss fight. Just machine gun down. Our problem is normally the dogs. We normally kill the Hunter fine. It's a really annoying fight. He splits the damage so well, so that's why I was saying damage to all is pretty powerful. We have a res too if we need it. But we're looking pretty good right now. It was kind of painful. I was hoping we were going to kill a dog at the same time. Damage to all is now less important. Because there's only 2 units, so I'm going to trade. Especially with the dogs, because they can run away. 42 off vampirism is so good. And we've killed him. Nice. This is a blessed morning so far. I still think I want more HP. And we got the boss loot, which is kind of nice. As I said. I think oblivioning the outpost there was actually a very good play for us. I think it's smart play. I think I'm at a point now as well that I don't really want to go higher with the suburbs. I think I'll go across with them. Damage to all 17. That feels good for fighting spiders, but not against the last boss. And really, this is the danger now in this run. We want to make our run capable of beating the last boss, but we don't want to make it too difficult for us to loop. So actually, this is where the road lanterns will come into their own. I will start using road lanterns around here as well to probably reduce spider spawns. I'm still holding out for this Bookery. Can I actually see my deck somewhere? Did I put it in? Hey, it's a Bookery! Hello! We only killed 3 of the bosses without you. I have to be a bit careful where I put this, actually. Let's put it there. Because its area of effect will be like this if I ever open it. And there's a good chance I'm going to open it by accident. Ooh, I hate that. Not gonna lie, I really hate that. But it's fine. Bookery will give us oblivions, I believe. Do I want to place more battlefields? Sure, last battlefield I'm going to place though. Mountains up here, fine. And suburbs, I mentioned I sort of want to stop going up with them now. So I think I'm just going to tail off here. And then just let mountains go into the top. Because I think we're going to hit 1 level and that's it. Because I think the one after this is like 9,000. I guess we could hit 9,000, but I'd rather just gain survivability now. So let's tail that there. More wheat field there. We're not going to make any bladed stuff because I don't get the point in it. It looks incredibly hard to deal with. More rivers. I'm not going to say no to more rivers. I could blooming meadow these on the river as well to get more survivability. I'm not against that. But it's not really survivability, it's in like more HP. Oh, a ghost of a ghost. It always counter-attacks. Interesting. What are you? Prime matter. Can you stop, like... The creature's 6th strike is guaranteed to kill the hero. Okay. I found out something new, ladies and gentlemen. I have suddenly feared something. It's the Team Fortress meme. It's like I feared nothing but that thing. It frightens me. Okay. Turns out we could die on this run still. Honestly, I forgot we had runes in the deck. Well, welcome to the deck, runes. Where am I even going to place you? I don't want to place you... I don't want to place you anywhere. I really don't. I'm just not going to place you. Scorchworms, you've arrived too late to the party. That's smart a little bit. But right now, I think I just want to get stronger. I know that like getting better loot is also better. But right now, I feel like the difficulty is fine. Forest I will use. But I think I'm happy to trade everything here at the buttery. Well, I suppose I should trade things that have no tangible benefit. Whereas the HP per day turning over does have a tangible benefit. I can also do that to minimize the Goblin Camp effect. Okay, where would I place this? I could place one here. Blooming Meadow. Because honestly, these three have no use anymore. So I want to trade till I have like 6 cards left. So I would like to place 2 more meadows if I can. If I place them in the middle, I'm accepting the river is going to just end suddenly. Admittedly, like, just going this with the river is basically pointless. Okay. That's how we're going to play it. The river's going to end fairly soon, and I'm just going to stop playing rivers. They will be also traded in the buttery. Nice chest, by the way. No. Maybe. What am I trading here? Oh, it's evasion. Honestly, I've been kind of enjoying the evasion. I think none of this is good enough. Which is a bit worrying now. I've gone a few loops without really improving. River, though, is an improvement. And mountain is also an improvement. So that was worth trading those cards for. Maybe like 45% of the way to spawning the final boss. It'll be interesting to see if he has new text for like a new memory. We will double up down here as well. So I literally think I might just take the river to there and then stop. Maybe river down. So yeah, that's how I do it. I've worked it out. Okay, damage to all, I did say he's a wasted stat at the moment, but he's not that wasted. He's playing to survive. Another beacon, which can affect the final boss. So I'm going to place it here. Outpost is completely pointless. Forest is getting fairly pointless, but I could start placing them down here. So these will all be blooming anyway, so I might as well just place the forest there. Another weak field can go up here, and the outpost I'll trade again. Again, really good place run. Also, what's kind of nice is we've picked up a lot of stone this run. That is a big HP up. But honestly, our HP right now is pretty fine. I don't think I'm sat here going, we need to survive longer. To that goal as well, I don't feel a huge urge to place down the spider cocoons, but I might do it anyway. You know what? I shouldn't. I should just hold cards that don't actually improve us anymore. Like, the suburb at least somewhat improves us. But honestly, now with this, do I just stop after this one? Because I can't make any more towns now. Unless I place one up here and one here. That might be worth. We're about to ding. We've dinged. That might be too late. That doesn't help. And every counterattack restores 1.5. Times loop, HP. Honestly, give me card sharp. On the off chance it doubles something good. Okay, I I need to be a little bit careful with how I do this. I don't want to wait for too long to spawn the boss, so I am going to try and make this a town thing. I don't want to just get to the point where the only cards I'm willing to place down are forests, and that's where this is coming at the moment. Because the longer we loop, the harder he's going to get. Kill this skeleton fine. I would also like a bit better armor, I'm not going to lie. So he's willowed someone away. Trace damage to all for a lot of regen. No, not interested. I think I'd rather take that than anything. Well, I feel like a vampirism at 24% is pretty good. Yeah. He wished away the best person as well for us. Feel pretty strong right now, I'm not gonna lie. Damage to all. And high defense. Again, this isn't going to help us beat the last boss. And that's what I'm worried about right now. That could help us beat the last boss. Take us up to 20% evasion. And trade some evasion off for attack speed. Okay, these are changes I can get behind. I can also get behind placing another beacon by here, because that'll help us in the boss fight. And then I said I wanted to save... Let's just place them down here for now. It's not the best use of the mountain, but on the off chance for some reason we don't pick another one up, we could make some more villages. Oh no, towns, sorry. So 7,000 as an XXP. Honestly, we're not going to hit it, so we shouldn't place any more of these. There's no point. We've gained the benefit. Honestly, that was worth picking Card Sharp up for. Can I place this anywhere? Yeah. That was less useful for Card Sharp, I'm not going to lie. But let's make some more blooming meadows. I think I will hold the meadow now, just because the best use for it is to be traded into a forest or a thicket. That is now a damage upgrade, so effectively. Cemetery as well is a damage upgrade. I could also be convinced to like burst, like place things down. So what I'm saying is I could get to a point where I think all the cards I place would spawn the boss, and then just start placing enemy tiles in front of me, because I won't ever have to fight them. Rather than looping one extra time, I think that's worth it. Honestly, duplicate beacons for me. That is good wood. That being said, I can't place it there. Where's the best place for this now? Maybe down here. Sure. Okay, so beacons are no longer particularly useful for us. Really, we just need one more road lantern. Maybe like 85% of the way to spawning the boss. Will I spawn the boss now? Yeah, I would. I'm eager to fight him. Yeah, forget about that. That's a pipe dream now. None of these cards are particularly helpful for me, so I'm holding on to them right now. But it does spook me a little bit, I'm not going to lie. I'm not taking that much of a defense down for something that has a better stat. And same for everything else, basically. Our evasion is 19% right now, which is pretty solid, honestly. As I said before, we're kind of in a place right now where we have lots of stats that are okay. And the only stat that's like incredible is attack speed because of display. We're coming to a point as well where rocks are no longer going to be useful for us. Suburb is literally pointless. I would probably rather place a meadow. Very well. You want to pick up one more card to trade. We've drank a potion as well on this one, which is around it, which is a little bit scary. They're the road lantern that we wanted. Road lanterns now are kind of pointless to us. This is attack speed down, but has counter on it, and it is way higher damage. We trade evasion though, which is a bit painful, but kill enemies faster is better. Forests. Forests are good. Forests should be placed. I want to spawn on this loop, I've decided. I know it's strength 2 potions, which is kind of painful, but I'm worried about doing another loop of this. I trade damage to all, and some magic damage for attack speed. Honestly, I would make that trade too. That's a good trade for us as well. Mountain is useful. Thicket is useful. That is annoying, but I'm going to make it pointless. We're probably like 2 or 3 tiles from spawning the last act boss again. And I don't see a point this time where we're just going to suddenly get randomly killed. I can't see what does that to us. With the villages after the spawn, it can't happen again. Forest, I'm just going to place over here. I'm amazed that didn't spawn the boss. We have another battlefield. Honestly, battlefields just go down here. So, we're now using everything we can. So this forest could be doubled up. Meadow, blooming. Let's go. I'm feeling good right now. I was just going to say, the only thing I'm really worried about is our armor situation. I'll trade for the HP now. We have 2,500 HP. That might be the most I've ever seen on this character. But I can't remember some of the runs that we looped, basically, for ages. I mean, we have looped 14 times on the hardest act, which is pretty good. I can't remember what our record was. I think we completed 15 loops. So we're going to be one off our record. But generally, I think we've played this run really smartly. I'm going to hold this forest for now. Please don't take our loot. This is actually one thing that could be super annoying. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay, I think we've averted, like, the one cause of potential disaster. It's just survive now. Beacon, I don't think I can actually place anywhere useful, so I'm going to hold it. We could get a book rick, you never know. What am I looking for? What tiles am I looking for? Honestly, I'm looking for a river. Give me 3 rivers. Or give me 2 rivers at least. There's 1 river. Pause the game. Duplicate. No, so good. Right, I want 1 more river over a meadow. This meadow I can't place anymore. A bookery now is what we want. And potentially Oblivion. It depends. I would Oblivion like a forest to put a thicket there. But it's kind of a hard get now. More damage and higher attack speed. Trade counter. Honestly, I don't care about counter. Make the trade. We're going to be probably at full HP as well. So I'm going to go into planning after this. We can only place 1 more tile. Okay, the best tile we can now place is a forest. And that duplicates it. Okay, there's nothing else we can do. Gods, wish us luck. Everyone who's watching, wish for the best. Are you going to have a spiel now? You are the one that no longer exists. You died trying to hasten our meeting. Why are you here? I left my world and came to this one. Know that I've already defeated you once. Another world? That's interesting. Probabilities. I get it. Opportunities. You shouldn't have done it. You've already settled the outcome of this battle in your probability. I can't allow myself to not help the world where no hope is left. You're intruding in the events of other probabilities. This creates chaos. How many of you are now intruding other probabilities? In how many of these probabilities have I already defeated them along with their world? Your quest has started a battle that is going to last for all eternity. Yes, I understand that now. But you know what? That will only happen if I lose. Nothing has changed. I will stop you everywhere I can. Fine. I understand your pursuit. We shall fight here and now. So remember, he destroys all cards and items in the start of the battle. Every 3rd attack erases 1 item and 1 of the hero's stats from existence. So these cards were providing defense to us, but they won't be in a minute. We've got that shield as well. There go our cards. Now he's going to start hitting us for real and erasing stats. Please don't erase attack speed though. For the love of God. It's our main stat. What's his HP by the way? Yeah, pretty high. But honestly, so is our HP. Come on, warrior. Remember, we have 1 revive as well. We had 8 potions. Down them all. It doesn't matter anymore. Come on, warrior. It's looking good right now. The vampirism triggers are pretty nice for us. Please stop erasing attack speed and vampirism. That's all I ask of you. I think we've got him. I think a warrior is going to come in 2nd place of the memories. We didn't even die. That's an amazing desire to live. I'm amazed and still. I can't believe I've managed to do it twice. What does this even make me? Will you be reborn as a created god now? The cosmos is already waiting for my death. I shall embark on my final trip. Know that this world will never be the same. Your intrusion interrupted the natural flow of events, interrupted its consistency. Emptiness was this world's fate, and now it has no fate at all. That's not true. Look at us. It was a natural and appropriate outcome. We entered a probability that was different from ours, but it wasn't accidental. It was done because of our way of thinking, our principles and capabilities. To put it simply, it was almost inevitable. It fits into the paradigm of this world. Yotra is right. What choice did we have? We've helped where we could help. And we would do it again if the opportunity arises. And the opportunity will arise, by the way. Necromancer has still got to do this. You are right, but I am not wrong either. Everything has its consequences, and your actions are no exception. Don't forget that. And farewell. Nice. Nice. Honestly, do we carry on looping? Do we try to fill our resources up, or do I just take the assortment of resources? It does have 2 of these things, which appear to be very hard to get. Blood Lightning. We can get a quick 3-hit combo doing less damage, or 5% chance for a chest to spawn on top of a killed enemy. You know what? I've enjoyed this run as much as as anything, but I think I just want the resource assortment. We also picked up a mirror, which I didn't notice on that run. Or dream of having 100% lightning evasion. Still carried on. Or not even evasion, reflection. Take me out of here. So I'm going to skip the credits. We watched them last time, but I'm so happy we got this 2nd win under our belt. It's been really difficult for us. I think we beat it maybe 10 parts ago now as the rogue. And I was on the crest of a wave, but really the game ground us down again for a bit. And now we feel like we just starting to come up a bit again. Despite all this, I still can't build the next level of the cemetery. Can I upgrade War Camp? Nope, I can't upgrade the War Camp either. We don't have enough resources. This is probably a big get for us if we can do it. Because just 4% hero strength is good. I think this will be put through our skeletons for the Necromancer. So just having better skeletons is just good for us. The watchtowers I don't think are necessary to upgrade. What we could do actually is build a farm. So a farm gives us a ration for every completed loop. And I think it's improved by having garden towers around it. Yeah. So what we could do is place another farm down just to pick up more rations, and we could use rations to in the alchemy engine to give us astral orbs instead. How much is a farm? It's not too expensive. That's kind of an annoying place for it though. Although it's only blocking one of the tiles. So sure. Another farm. So this will give us even more rations when we complete missions. Similarly, we could build another set of trees up here, but I might even just look at building some more mud huts. Or can I upgrade these? You know what? This is what we'll do. We'll get... Oh, can we build a mansion? Oh, 3 stone. Right, we're getting more rations in. Get to the alchemy. So we need 3 stones. Where are you, rations? Goodbye. I think that's enough now. Can we upgrade our house? Did I not make... Did I make metal? I made metal. This is what this game's doing to me. It doesn't matter, we need metal anyway. It's not a terrible loss. You've clicked stone. Right, make stones, please. We've got an achievement for synthesis. Okay. It was worth it, ladies and gentlemen. Not a misplay. You think you'll be able to build yourself a mansion like this when it's over? To live a normal life? That's too far in the future. I still don't know how to piece the world together. And I'm not sure I'll be able to find out. You've built such a settlement for all these people. That fact alone is a miracle. Every person in this camp believes that you'll be able to save the world. Even you. Even me. Little do you know. I'm being sincere. No kidding this time. So we have built a house, and that is the highest you can get. I was hoping for like a mansion or a block of flats, but you know what, I'll take it. Which means in supply, I can place another item down. And which one am I thinking of placing? The one that increases damage dealt to bosses. Yoink. I think that's all I can place as well. I should probably check for a slot that I could place stuff into. Yeah, it gave me one more slot. But I am open to just building mud houses. But what really does improve me? It feels like jewellery is like so overstacked that the other categories are kind of meaningless compared to it. Like, I could put shoe nails in, it's definitely just an improvement. Honestly, we're going to see more rat wolves. Yeah, plus 5 damage against rat wolves isn't terrible. We'll use them as the necromancer. More HP when passing through a village isn't terrible. So there's nothing like a great improvement. Actually, you know what? This is pretty good. Have we placed one of these before? Yeah, we've placed a few before. Can I get some more mud huts? No, I've run out of stone. Never mind. Okay, well, this has been great. We'll come back in the next part and we'll start doing some necromancer runs. As I said, I've been building him slightly differently, but maybe I just try to take as much of this as possible. Maybe not the outpost, but maybe we do run Arsenal with him. We have been trying to do some ancestral crypt runs because he doesn't gain HP from his armor. He gains like magic HP or magic armor. So it's not a detriment. But maybe we do just leave Forest Mountain in. I think we either do this or we take this out and put Ancestral Crypt in instead of Arsenal. I think that's the play. But I'll decide on the next part. Either way, I hope you've enjoyed this video. We've defeated the game now as 2 of the 3 characters. Only 1 more to go. I'm looking at doing this recording session. As I mentioned before as well, sorry. I am looking forward to this coming to a close. I think it's nice when things end. But one thing I will do is we're still missing some things in the encyclopedia. So we have a missing synergy for 2 monsters. I will look into how to get them. Because right now I'm just trying to beat the game and I don't want to go through the game and look for these. We've got every single tile. We've got an achievement for getting every single tile. So it must be 2 AoE effects. Like maybe it's Smith Forge and something else. But what my guess is at the moment is one of them is to do with the temporal beacons, because one of the tiles is next to the Watcher, so maybe you can make a different type of Watcher. But I've never found it. And the other one is next to Siren, which makes me think that you have to get some reeds and place something near it, because I think Siren was for having a battlefield near it, to make it like a pirate ship. I don't remember. But I'll look into how to get those 2. And maybe we'll do like one final hurrah and just try and get to unlock those 2 things. Either way, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, everything helps, and I'll see you in the next part. Goodbye.